Hey there, so today we're going to show you how to install the Slingbow tubes onto the Hammer XT head. So these are different from our other Slingbow tubes. This is a single strand, heavy walled tubular band set. So installation is simple, but there's a couple of steps that you want to outline for you and make sure you get correct. First, we're going to kind of go over what kind of draw weights you might expect at a given draw length. So in the archery industry, 28 inches is the standard average draw length that all bow poundages are built around. So we're going to use that same classification here. So what we've got here is these bands have about 8 inches of working rubber in the system. Elongation factor is the same with these bands as it is in slingshot bands. We're going to shoot for around 500% elongation, thereabouts. Having the bands extra long allows you to have these band sets shoot at 28 inches, anywhere from about 32 pounds pull up to about 42 pounds pull. We're going to shoot for right around 600% elongation, so our bands are going to be approximately 6 inches long. That gets us close in the ballpark range. So we're going to set these up for a 6-inch draw, and then we'll go out and do some chronograph testing. All right, here's how you go about putting your bands onto your Hammer XT slingshot head. We know that we want 6 inches of active band length. The way these attach is that we insert a 3/8 inch diameter steel ball into the inner wall of the tubing. Set it at the position that we need for our active band length, and we're set, we're good to go. Here's how we do it. First, I'm going to measure from the end of this insert 6 inches. I like to identify that spot with a permanent marker. I'm just using a black Sharpie here. Just make a bold mark. All right, I've got this band set marked at 6 inches on this side. I'm going to do the same thing for the opposite side. Now you'll notice there's quite a bit of extra band left over here. We'll get to that here in a minute. All right, so as far as installing the bands onto the slingshot, I find it easiest to remove the head first. Next thing you're going to need is some rubbing alcohol. This is just simple isopropyl rubbing alcohol. This acts as a lubricant. Great thing about rubbing alcohol, it acts as a lubricant, but it dries and evaporates very quickly so you can get back to shooting. And finally, your bands are going to include 2 3/8 inch diameter ball bearings. So here's how we go about doing this. 1, latex is very grippy, so you're going to want to lubricate this before you put it in. Now, if you know that you're going to have a shorter band, you may wish at this point to cut the end of this band at an angle to allow it to get through the hole easier. We're not going to do that right here. We're simply going to lubricate it with some rubbing alcohol, insert it, and twist as we move in. Now the band is installed through the shooter side of the slingshot. The side, you insert it from the side that has the bracket here that holds the brush rest. We'll do the same thing for the other side. All right, now we're ready to install ball and tube. Now remember, we've marked our bands at 6 inches here. We're going to insert that ball within the tube and stop it at the 6-inch point. I'll show you how. Again, we're going to go back to using the rubbing alcohol here. This is our lubricant. So we want to lubricate the tube, and it's important to pinch the tube and release it. And it draws a little bit of the alcohol up into the tube. We want to get it in that inner wall. We're trying to lubricate the inner wall of this tube. Next, take the ball bearing. Now here's the tricky part. It's not very hard, but it can be fiddly. We're simply going to insert the ball bearing and get it started into the tube. Once we've got it started, with the inner wall lubricated, we can simply slide it into place. I'm going to slide it exactly to where my mark is at the crest of the ball bearing. I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other side. All right, now both ball bearings are inserted to the 6-inch location. Now here's something to keep in mind. Don't immediately pull back on this and put tension on it. It's still moist in there, it hasn't evaporated yet, and you will move your attachment. At this point, you're going to let this rest for 30 minutes. After about 30 minutes to an hour, you're good to go, you're ready to shoot. So you'll notice before you've put your tubes in that the diameter of the face of the slingshot, the side that faces you, is smaller than the side that the ball engages in. This is by design. This provides a seat for the ball to lock the band in place. So again, it's very important to remember, do not pull the bands against the frame and test the tension for about 30 minutes. You want to make sure you give the alcohol time to evaporate. Once you've done that, you're good to go shooting. All right, so we've given this one time to dry. We can see here that we have even band length on either side, and we have a little bit left over out here. Now, if you know this is where you're going to be shooting the bands, you can trim this off. We do recommend you leave about a 1/2 inch beyond the bearing. Likewise, if you've put it together like this and you realize that this is not the length that you're looking for, you can move these balls around. Now again, it's a little fiddly. To do this, we're going to pour some alcohol into the hole of the tube. Just the tiniest bit. If you've got a syringe, that may work as well too. So I've inserted a little bit of alcohol in there, and now I'm going to simply massage it. It's important that you massage it from the top to the bottom, and then begin stretching the tubes as you twist them. And what you're trying to do is get the alcohol around the ball. Once you do, it pops right out. Want to put it back together? Repeat the same process. All right, so now it's installed. The alcohol has had some time to evaporate. You're ready to go shoot your Hammer XT head. There you go. Get out there and shoot some arrows and have some fun. Thanks for taking a look.